Welcome to Weeks Ahead AI, where business owners learn how to use AI to save time, cut costs, and stay weeks ahead.
Welcome back to Weeks Ahead. I'm joined by Brad and Mitch as usual.
Hey.
But today we're really excited because we have Tim Hicks, who is the co-founder of TW Hicks. They're a family-owned industrial flooring contractor, and he's also a licensed pilot. Oh, has his own airplane. We can edit that out if you don't want me to say that. But
with an opening next Thursday, if anyone needs to go to Colorado.
We're super excited to have Tim. Tim is a friend, but a great business person, and I think all the listeners will enjoy that. Tim has his degree in construction management from Texas State, and he began his career at Texas Industrial Floors, where he spent 7 years kind of learning the industry before they launched TW Hicks. And they are a company that is well regarded in their industry, and I'm excited for you to hear what they're doing. They have offices in DFW, San Antonio, and Houston, and they're expanding to a national reach. He does work anywhere. If you have a big enough checkbook and a big enough need, he'll do it.
We'll come see you.
Serves general contractors, architects, and facility managers, projects that range from stadiums and schools to multifamily. That's a new area for them in the last couple of years that he'll share. And over the past 6 months, Tim has been on this same journey that we've been on. And so that'll be what we'll be spending most of our time today, is just letting Tim talk about how AI has impacted his business. And I'll say this before we start. There are a lot of people that we've heard that say, I don't know how AI can help my industry. Yeah. And I think if you go back, Tim probably thinks that it's like industrial flooring. How could AI impact that? So I'm super excited about this episode. Tim, thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for the introduction. The only thing I'm going to add to that is this is our 26th year in business, which
26th year.
We celebrated our 25th last year. It was so amazing to reflect over 25 years, and now we had to leave that.
Cheers
and go to 26.
yeah. With our new little
TW Hicks logo right here.
Which has got to be about 5
gift.
times longer than the average business makes it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he probably you feel like you're just getting started.
Just getting started. It's
cool
getting
is that?
fun now.
Yeah. No smooth road. Everybody hits you lived through the financial crisis.
COVID.
Yeah.
All of them.
So,
Yeah.
Tim, you knew that you wanted to get into construction. Obviously, you studied construction management. Was your family in construction, or what made you kind of want to go that direction?
No, that's the funny thing. It was my family. We're from far west Texas, and it just wasn't in my family. It wasn't in anybody I knew. And for me, it's like I always enjoyed building things, and it just fit.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those things I got into not really knowing where it would take me. Still don't know where it's taking me, but it's been a
all
great
over the country.
Yes.
Well, you're in control of that.
Yes.
That's the good part.
When I first heard, he does industrial flooring, I'm like, what exactly does that mean? So maybe what does industrial flooring mean when somebody says?
So industrial flooring for me, being in having a construction degree, when I interviewed for it, it wasn't what you would typically think of. It's like I'm not building anything.
Right.
But industrial flooring, it's such a hidden specification in the construction world. A lot of times it's forgotten.
Yeah.
If you have a dog food plant,
right,
there's certain criteria that you have to meet, whether it's through the USDA or anything. And so that's on the food side. So these floors are designed to minimize bacteria growth, provide a clean surface, provide a safe surface. And that's just one silo. Then you look at aviation, it's more for protection of chemicals getting into the ground. More importantly, it's, you want to you have a $50 million toy, you want it to reflect off the floor. And so you can go manufacturing. It's the same thing. Medical, they all have their purpose, but no one really sees them. No one thinks about them, but you walk on them all the time.
Yeah. So. Well, it is one of those things you don't know what you're seeing, but it's like you notice if there's something nice there, or obviously it's important in certain applications just to have the safety and so it sounds like a lot of specs, a lot of different options. You got all that kind of trying to figure out which application is right in which setting, and all those decisions kind of are fed some by the client and I'm sure designer of the building, but also based on your experience. Hey, this is what's going to work best in this situation, right?
Yeah, you nailed it. I mean, there's specifications that no one follows.
Yeah.
Because the way that an architect writes a spec, if we did every job by the spec, it would be amazing, because they would be the spec is designed perfect.
Yeah.
However, the clients can't afford a lot of times that exact spec.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's helped us with, I'm 30 plus years of doing this. I can kind of look at a spec and then read between the lines and figure out
their intent,
how that's going to sell. Yes. Yeah. So that's the critical part.
Have you seen a lot of change in technology in the flooring systems since you've been in it, or has it been sort of, hey, the same thing applies today that applied 20 years ago?
That's the problem. I mean, when I sit down with you with this group the very first time, and I'm looking at AI, I'm thinking, wow, this is going to help me maybe create some cool. Boy, hasn't done that yet.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, no, the technology is the same.
Really?
And there have been some fast cure products. There's some polyaspartics that, they're UV stable. They cure fast. They do help us, but that's over a 30-year period. That's really the only change we've seen. We've seen it really more almost on a decline, where polished concrete has become such a huge impact in our industry. And we do polishing as well. So you kind of have to move with the flow.
With the trends, yeah.
Yes. I mean,
makes sense. Well, yeah, so I think let's start from there, kind of how we got into this whole AI journey and what got you kicked off.
You're a forward thinker. The very first time I sat down with you and we were able to come in and talk to you guys, you could tell immediately. Tim's a forward thinker, and I've always said it doesn't matter what industry you're in. If you take somebody that's got the same energy and the forward thinking, you're going to win. And so my takeaway the first time I met Tim was like, he wants to win.
Yeah.
And he's already spending 30,000 feet above ground most of the time, right? So he's got that vision.
Yeah. So jump into your AI journey. Where did it start? And
well, I think the forward thinking, that's what I do well. People are, our internal joke is, I ran the company for the early on stages,
right?
While my beautiful wife, Tina, who is now the president of the company, she was at home raising our kids. And boy, when she came into the office, she'd always been behind it,
right?
But boy, coming forward, much better president than I ever was.
Yeah.
And then what that did is, as now co-founder, it's freed me up to really, really think forward. And sometimes I get so far I trip, but that's what we do. And so taking it from there, it's just like, I've got to be several steps ahead of all of my competitors. And if I'm not, I feel like we're not doing what we should do.
Yeah.
And we're not servicing our clients the way we should. So this AI and that meeting at Denton Country Club, really, I was looking for something to really help me move the company forward. And here we are.
So that was almost a year ago now, really, right? This is a meeting Tim's referring to that we just called as we started kind of really diving in and trying to understand it. We invited some friends, said we're just wanting to brainstorm and throw out some ideas and kind of see where everybody's thinking on this. And so we invited Tim to that meeting, and that kind of opened your eyes to maybe what could be possible, I guess.
Yes, it always helps when you know people.
Yeah.
And Terry reached out. I knew of Terry. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go and see what they're talking about, and didn't really have any expectations when I went into the meeting. And then I believe I was the last one to leave the meeting.
You were the last one.
That's the way I operate. And I kind of listened. I listened to what was going on in the room. And you see some people twiddling their thumbs. They were expecting a free dinner or whatever the case was.
Right.
And I think for me, it was just like, wow, this is, and then y'all made it very friendly because I know the familiar faces. And all of a sudden, that's where it spurred right there.
So, yeah, Mitch, you take it from here, because Mitch has been our guy in our group that has sort of he's the technical expert. Yeah. He is all in. And so your line of questioning for Tim here would be great.
I mean, before we even get into what AI tools you're using, like, I'd love to just know what would you make someone pay you to go back to doing it the old way? Before you were using AI, like, how much would they have to write a check for you to get rid of all AI from your business?
There's not enough. I mean, because it's not going to equal what the AI is going to bring me in the future. I mean, there's no question.
And, And what was your team's initial response when you said, I want to look at integrating some AI into the business?
Thought I was crazy. I remember, and it's just like, hey, here's the direction we need to go. Here's some ideas, some thoughts. And honestly, it got to the point where I would be so excited, and I would sit down with someone and they're just glaze over. Like, that's for someone else. That's not for us.
Right.
Or that's down the road.
That's down the road, and we'll get there when we get there. And boy, were they wrong.
What was the first problem you solved using AI?
Estimating. Very first. It's so simple. We sit around and we and you were instrumental. You guys came in and we sat down and we're talking through a lot of this. And for me, it's like, well, my mind automatically goes to sales. How do I get more sales? Well, then you break that down and you start looking at your business and you're saying, okay, how do I get business? Well, estimating is a key part to everybody's business. And for me, I have a very old business, being the 26-year-old child of industrial flooring, and we've always done it the same way. And then we had this new business being the multifamily. And that, I'm sitting there trying to juggle both of these. I got two different estimating offices, and they're both estimating differently. And for me, it was simply brainstorming about it, and then I literally walked into our estimating office. It's right on the other side of my wall. And I would have never noticed this before, but I look at the screen, and I'm asking her questions on how she's doing it. And I look and there's an icon in the corner, and it's AI. And I said, have you ever hit that button before? She's like, absolutely not.
Because what did she think was going to happen?
The thing was going to blow up. Something was going to take place. And so I said, Lori, please just let's take a look at that. And so, she's doing what she's asked. She clicks on it. She's looking at it and kind of tables it.
Yeah.
And then a week or so goes by, and I'm like, hey, what did we find? So I also, that's on the resinous side of the business. The gyp side, he was spreadsheets, never wanted to change anything. This is the way I do it.
Right.
Estimators are very colorful. They like to spend time coloring their plans and laying everything out. And I get it. And he's super good at what he does. When we showed him that he could literally hit a button and do that for him,
it's mind blowing.
His jobs went from, how long was it taking him to do an estimate? Like 10 hours?
Yeah, 8 to 10 hours to do a pretty complex takeoff. That's just to color it out, to understand it. And now it's minutes.
Oh my!
It's minutes to do that.
And it took him how many? Because we met Sean, and he was. You could tell no one knew the process better than him.
Nobody.
Right.
How long did it take him to get comfortable with the results he was getting from AI?
comfortable is a loose word.
He's still not there.
But in all reality, once he saw what it would do for him in terms of speeding his process up, because I have all the respect in the world for estimators because they just grind. They're looking at the same plan, specs, everything. So it's a lot of repetition, and I believe that's what AI was created for.
Right.
Honestly.
Right.
And once he figured out he could do one part of it, and then AI would just take it and run with it.
Yeah.
He immediately, once he saw that.
Yeah.
And now he's managing a pipeline that's 3 times bigger than it was the last time we met.
Yeah, it's pushing a very large number.
So you've tripled your pipeline with one guy.
One guy.
Yeah.
And now his son's working in that department, and you can imagine. I mean, this is a 20-something.
Yeah.
I guarantee he's already faster than his dad.
He's all in on
Well,
it.
and you think back to 12 months ago, and you're thinking, to be able to do this, I've got to add so many estimators to be able to, because it was a bottleneck. I think when we first talked about it, like your ability to get, and this JIT that you're referring to is for, apartment complexes. Mm-hmm. It's flooring in apartment complexes. And so it was going to take you a week to get
I would
a
have
bid.
had to have a bullpen of estimators. I mean, you look at the old pictures, and you got 20 desks, and they're all lined up, and now 2 people are doing that, and they're just cranking them.
Yeah.
And then on the resinous side, it's a little harder there because there's a few things that we're trying to catch up on how those takeoffs occur, but it's going to happen. I mean, it's just a matter of, they're already changing it.
So this was a tool, I guess, on both sides that was kind of sitting in the software that you were already using.
Yes.
Right. And just took your initiative saying, hey, click that button. Let's see what this can do.
And I would have
crazy.
never looked either if I hadn't been exposed to what AI is. And what that's also spurred is now Sean, who was, anti anything on that front, but he's now part of the board's not the right word, but he's part of the group that kind of is oversight for that estimating program.
Yeah.
Oh, they want his feedback.
They want his feedback.
Because they looked through and said, who's this dude just
this dude
crushing
using
us with requests?
Yeah.
So that's
really cool.
That's where the fun part of this is.
So now you went from not using AI, having a piece of their software, being one of the first movers to use their AI tool. So now you have a voice in how they're optimizing the AI tool for your business.
Absolutely.
How cool is that?
That's so, Tim. We have people that always say, "Where do I get started, and how do I get started?" And for me, I think you're a great test case for that. What would you tell business owners? Forget the industry. What would you tell them? How do you get started? Because they're gonna listen. they're going to feel like you are weeks ahead, or that you're years ahead of where some of our listeners are.
I just it goes back to being that forward thinker. You've got to be the type of business owner that wants to do something different than status quo.
Right.
Because if you're that type of business owner, you're not ever going to find it. As much as you look for it, you may use chat for something, but it really takes you taking a hard look at your business and finding the bottlenecks, and then go find someone that understands AI and how it works. And I promise you, they will find a way to make your bottlenecks open up.
Wow.
So your wife Tina, she's operationally. This is my characterization of your company. She's operational minded. Tim's the big thinker. Go sell more. Let's Is Tina? Where is she using it?
Oh man. So I would say Tina right now uses it. She probably sees it as much or more than anybody in the company. And when I say see it, because as the president, she's got her hands in every department. And what's happening is, for us, with the growth that we're experiencing and the forward-thinking ideas that I keep coming up with, What it allows her to do is see all departments in a very fast manner, very detailed manner. And that in itself helps her to run the business better. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, you know, not to cut you off, but just to finish the question, it's like how the business flows. Used to, you had to sit down, people would feed you a report. You'd have to dissect the report, understand where we're spending too much, where we're not spending. Now, with the use of Slack, are all, and you think about the people that use AI in our business. It's not just our executive team. It's the lowest person on the crew that just starts because they're part of the daily reports. And so our team leads, our superintendents, our project managers, they're all connected through Slack. So now we're getting this electronic feed coming into the office. Our director of operations is able to take that information, look at it. And while that's going on in our meeting, we've got Otter AI taking the notes for us. So now everybody's more focused on what's going on. They're not doodling on their page. And I noticed you don't have your book here either, your little notebook that. But I think it's so now that's feeding in. We've got the note. Otter AI is taking the notes, so we don't forget anything, and then we pull that back up for the next week so we can see what we've missed. Right. But then all of that goes into now marketing's tied into that with Monday. They're able to grab all the photos because we we ask them to take photos, videos. That all goes in. Now they've got that categorizing itself. And then the other side of marketing is taking that same information and, again, using Monday to put that back out into social media.
Right.
And while all that's going on, it's, we're talking, Tina and I are walking around with Claude to discuss other things.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just this circle that continuously goes. And that's just in the last
You've gone from
months.
0 to here. And what size organization? How many employees do you have? Give me.
We're roughly 60 to 80, depending on what we're doing.
So here's a company, 60 to 80 employees that's gone from 0 to this, and it's possible, right? And it's just started for you. You haven't figured out exactly how your overarching AI strategy is going to integrate everything in your business, but you've gotten started.
And I really needed that because with offices in Dallas, San Antonio, Houston, I think when we all sat around, my whole goal was to make sure that we were all communicating the same.
Right.
Every office was acting like the corporate office.
Yeah.
And before that, man, it was fragmented here and there. And now everything is just, it's got this flow to it.
That's awesome.
And like percentage wise, you don't have to give us a number of revenue or anything, but what % business growth have you had? And then what % do you think AI has had on your overall profitability?
Oh, well, the first question, I would say we're over 50% growth.
In 1 year?
In 1 year.
In a year where the economy has not been super easy to grow, especially in construction.
Yeah.
Wow.
Where does AI, what percentage does that fit in? That's a hard number for me to tell. All I know is the growth that we're doing, AI is making it easier. So that's got to expand into.
How many more estimators would you have had to hire?
To handle the 50% growth? Yeah.
Yeah. Four more probably.
And that's a real number.
Yeah. That's so, I think about this, we've told you and we've mentioned on this show, we're building a product, a software product, and that was born out of what we saw in our own businesses, in our past experiences. Can we build a tool that is extremely just helpful for us, right? Like that was our thing from the beginning. And people like you and other, trusted sources in our network have contributed to helping us think through this. But to me, we're on the early edge of what's possible. That I don't think that you could think I can grow my business and not add people. That's incredible to me.
Well, and what Tim is describing that he's doing is something that like every business should really be focusing on right now, which is he didn't start with sales and marketing because that just makes a bigger problem if you have more revenue. He really dialed in the structure and making sure the foundation was there to layer AI upon it. And now that makes it probably 10 times easier for Tim than another business. If he wants to add more AI to his business, it'll never be easier for him because he's already got some systems and some flow of where the information needs to go, and he's removed some of the knowledge gaps.
Tim, how do you think about AI? Do you think of it as I have to do this to keep up, or do you view it as I'm doing this and I'm getting ahead? It's always a
good question. So for me, I don't think of it as something I have to do to stay ahead, because what's happened over the last year is we've got this great foundation, and now I'm super excited to talk to Mitch about, because I already have ideas of how to make our flow even better.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing the tools that we're using, but I'm also like, wait a minute, we're still, the way I look at things now, if I have to manually do it, I'm doing something wrong.
There's a problem.
There's a problem. And so every day I wake up and I'm like, okay, how do I do this? And we look at it and we're like, we're still manually having to do that. And I'm talking to my director of operations, and he's super excited that I'm here, because for his job, a lot of it is repetition, and it's depending on reports to gather information, and then how do I get that information into estimating, and then how do I get that from estimating into better production rates? Well, we've been talking about this for a year. It took me a while to get my arms around it, and then more importantly, get the structure set up to where I can now have that information.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not scared of it.
Oh, absolutely not.
And
Well,
and there was a point.
We were talking before this meeting, and I was at a very cool conference, and they had some great stuff out there. And obviously, Mitch already knew about it, but that one scared me. It was way
What is
above my
We're
head.
talking about OpenClaw.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, that's. I'm gonna wait.
Which Mitch is running OpenClaw, and it's probably happening right now.
Very
But he may
carefully.
be getting an email.
But I think
from-
it's just it's having your I used to call them investor glasses. You got to be looking at you got to be looking for things and listening for things. And that was one. It was kind of like, but it tells me the future of where it's going.
yeah.
Whether we want to be there or not, you better get on board.
How do your employees? Because I get this question a lot. Are you trying to eliminate jobs, or how people think that this is going to take my job?
Yeah.
How do your employees think about it?
Well, I'm sure there's always that something in the back of their mind, but I tell our employees all the time, especially on the installation side, they're craftsmen. It's going to be hard for AI to replace craftsmanship.
Right.
And now we can make it easier for them, but we're not going to replace that craftsmanship anytime soon, I don't think. But they're excited because we bought all of our superintendents, all of our team leads, Meta glasses. I mean, how crazy is that? They're walking around videoing everything all the time. So you think about it.
We should have led with that.
If you put Meta glasses on a guy, and y'all told me a long time ago, give the guy applaud, and you'll learn everything he does. You just kind of created your own robot,
Yeah.
in a sense.
Yeah.
So for us to be able to, get proper approval to do that, but now my director of operations or myself or whoever, we can literally be sitting watching them.
Here is a
Exactly.
real problem that they're encountering in the field, and I can take care of it now,
Yes.
as opposed to tomorrow when he comes back to the office and explains.
We're very big on value chain and where does it break down at, and how do we, used to the chain would break and we just keep moving forward and hope like hell it fixes itself, or
Yeah.
heck that it fixes itself. And now we see it and we can stop it before it ever happens.
Yeah.
So if anything in your business, you're going to have you're going to be paying people more to work for you because you're going to have high producers that are going to get supported with what they need, and it's going to kind of just allow them to do more, which allows you to pay them more.
Absolutely. I mean, you think about it, it's the vicious cycle. It's like, we need more labor. Well, trust me, when my guys are talking to other company guys and they don't have meta glasses and they don't get applaud, and they're like,
Yeah.
they want to be part of that.
Yeah.
I don't care how people think that they're not taking this AI and running with it. They are.
Yeah.
But I think people enjoy, that's what leadership is at its core, is somebody that thinks like that. And I think people want to work for people that think that way.
Yeah.
And
So-
where was your head regarding your business and kind of your trajectory and how long you wanted to stay in it 2 years ago versus now?
Oh, well, I mean, we had this discussion. You know, it's there's times in any business owner's mind you're burnt.
Yeah.
You're tired. You're doing the same thing over and over and over. And now it's just like, I don't know where the end is, because it's kind of
You're
like,
just so excited.
yeah,
Re-energized.
if y'all don't feel it, I'm vibrating.
I think the same way. And Mitch and I were talking yesterday as we were preparing for you to come in, and I told Mitch, I said, look, if I go back to the industry that I was in, which was a manufacturing, very much a construction related industry that you're talking about, I'm like, I think it would be built completely different today. I can envision, delivering a proposal to a client in just a fraction of the time, with, the ability for my sales guys to price their own stuff standing in front of a client. And I'm like, that used to take 10 days.
Yeah.
And so I just encourage people to solve a problem, which is what you did, and then you're on to the next problem.
Yeah.
And then at some point you can tie it all together.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out where that bow's going to tie, but I remember going back 20 years ago and going to my sales team and giving them an iPad and saying, okay, guys, y'all can estimate it and write the proposal right there. Boy, that was a disaster.
That didn't work.
Because there was no controls.
Yeah.
And AI has given us the ability to control that without controlling it. Like they don't even know what's happening behind the scene,
Right.
but it's all right there.
Right.
And then I take it, and I just want to add one thing, because for me, what's super exciting is I get to use AI every day, but I also get to work in plants that are doing things that are beyond cool. And right now, a big sector of our business is robotics. And like, I was in a plant in Austin, can't say the name, but I'm walking through a 20,000 square foot facility with robots hanging. And it's the craziest thing you've ever seen, because they're our size and they're hanging there and you're just waiting for them to come awake.
Right.
Because in other rooms,
They're working.
they're all, the humans over there doing this, and it's mimicking these movements.
Oh, wow.
And I specifically asked the gentleman that was walking us through, I was like, what are you going to do with all these? And he's like, 3 to 5 years, you will have one of these in your house. We're just getting it to the point where the price point's right. That's all they're waiting. All the technology's done.
Yeah.
It's just getting the price point down to where
Yeah.
and I'll have a robot
Mowing your
walking around.
yard? Or
Will you please name your robot Terry?
Absolutely.
so he can just go abuse
We've
it.
got that on the record.
But yeah,
Just go out and abuse it every day.
I don't know. That's the fun part of the business. Being able to see, it used to be food plants and manufacturing plants used to really be cool. And now it's like, ooh, now there are these shiny robots walking around and doing whatever. So it's evolving just like every industry has.
That's crazy. Well, thank goodness you're out in front of it. What do you think? What has surprised you? If you had to say one thing that just surprised me the most about this AI journey, is there something that just pops into your head?
I think for me, I'm surprised at how, as evolved as AI is, it's continuously growing. That's what surprises me. It's like, I'm at a conference and we're talking about ChatGPT, and it's almost like talking about it like it was yesterday's newspaper.
Right.
But there's a ton of people that don't even understand ChatGPT.
They're still getting into that level.
They're still trying to figure out using it like Google or whatever the tagline is. But it's fast.
It is moving fast.
And I think if you're not at least getting some type of structure within your business, this is truly one of those things that's going to run off and leave you. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
And Tim, you said something to me before the meeting. You were with a group that they're very forward thinking with AI. What did they say about ChatGPT? I'd really just want Brad to hear this.
I'm off it.
ChatGPT, I mean, basically that's what I said. It's yesterday's news. It's like there are things that are already there, that are already coming, that are not going to make it ever. They're never going to make it obsolete, but it's going to be old. You know, and
That's a teaser. So we're going to bring him back in 6 months, and he's going to finish this.
Yeah. Well, I commend you, Tim, for all the internal documentation and data collection that you're doing. You know, is very forward thinking, just like a lot of what you're doing. You know, the meta glass, the plod that you've got everybody, but all the way you're now going into Slack and Monday.com. I think maybe the next step, and this is where the tool we're working on, is really how to grab all that data and really let your team just kind of explore it all in real time and know what sales is doing, or know what the field's doing, or know what Tim's thinking and how he wants the business to run, or how you want people to communicate with your customers. And so I think that's the next frontier in all of this. And I'm excited that you're already kind of laying the groundwork for getting that data, you know, pulled together.
Yeah.
Well, I think with any business owner listening, there are a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're like, man, how is this ever going to talk to this? Or how's it going to grab this? And I think you just have to be patient. If you don't have the foundation, though, you can't. What I've learned about AI is you can't start up here. You have to have all this groundwork done, or this won't work.
So when you came back from that meeting, that dinner that we talked about a year ago, what was the first thing that you did? Like, I mean, when you say get started, don't start up here. Give me an example of where somebody could start today.
Well, I think it's taking ChatGPT or any of those like that, and use it as a tool. Use it as a tool for your business. Start there. Just start exploring with it and seeing what information you get back. You will be absolutely shocked what you find.
A thought partner? Like, is that
a thought partner? I literally, and it was part of one of y'all's podcast, may have been number 1, but I find myself now, I have my laptop on, I've got ChatGPT, and it's just the conversation part of it.
Yeah.
Where somebody walked by somebody's office and y'all are just having a conversation.
Right.
That's what people are doing in my office now, because I'll be on my putting mat or something, I'm putting and I'm talking, and it could be just the most random things. But what'll happen is you'll find yourself channeling that towards your business, or towards what your interests are, which mine are all business, and it may also be something about flying, or maybe something about something else. But what it's doing is it's kind of learning what your thoughts are, what your likes, what your dislikes are. And then all of a sudden you start, hey, let's talk about who are my competitors in the DFW area and what are they doing? And it's shocking what you get back. Whether you believe it or not,
it's an idea.
It's an idea. It's a thought.
Right.
Can you give me your login credentials? I want to go in and ask your ChatGPT. What's the craziest idea that Tim's had?
Yeah, there's some good ones in there.
Man, this is great.
Been great, yeah.
It's encouraging to people that listen to hear this story, because it's like it can be done.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I was so excited. Like, I was, gabbing with you guys on text. It's like, it's fun. It's a lot of hard work on the front end. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not so much the work's hard. It's convincing the people that work with you. to trust in it and start using it. And we're using just this much of it right now, I feel like.
If you're a general contractor listening and you don't use TW Hicks, shame on you.
Yeah, you lost your mind.
I got a question for you, Tim. Does it make sense for someone like your business to hire a kid out of college for 60, 70 grand a year to just come in and be an AI like strategist for you that's helping understand what new tools are out there, helping you implement them? Do you think that would be a value return?
100%. I think what happens is, especially in the construction world, we're, hands-on people. We want to do things ourselves. And we may think we understand this. We don't. And I think and you may not even have to hire someone. You may just want to look at, just to get started, you may just want to look around and see who's still in their 20s. Because they're going to get it. They've already explored ChatGPT. They've already explored all that. They know what it'll do. It's just channeling that to what you want it to do. But yes, to your point of bringing someone in that really understands and can silo these things and put it into a way that you'll get a quicker return.
Yep.
Just taking it to the next level.
You'll get a quicker
But
return.
I feel like you have to, there's a certain level of understanding that you as the founder and owner has to become comfortable with to even think about hiring somebody that, hey, I'm going to bring Brad in now that I have a basic understanding. I feel like it's a viable, path for our business. Now I'm going to bring somebody in to sort of take it to the next level.
Yeah.
You have that foundational level that you talked about, and you're comfortable talking about, give me more.
Well, I think you have to, as any owner, look, the people you bring in don't know your business. They know AI. So if 1 and 2 don't work together, 3 never happens, right? So it's like, I understand my business and I understand what I want to get out of it, but sometimes it takes a Mitch or a Terry or a Brad to pull that out, because we don't understand what all it will do.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, we have the best estimating. No, we really didn't. It's like, we can do this, we can do this, and we can do this.
Well, that's why I think it's fun, and we've talked about it amongst ourselves. It's like, man, if we could just get some, business owners that are forward thinkers, and we could figure out a way to get them in the same room once a quarter, what comes from that is crazy, And I know you're part of a professional group that you've told us about before, but the more you can be around other, thought leaders, it's good comes from it.
Yeah, if you don't, you're not growing, and you're I don't know how somebody does that.
And what you're describing, really, in the way you're kind of rolling this out to the company, is it started from the top. And again, there may have been people on your team that were thinking about it or using some little bit of ChatGPT on their own or whatever. But when you said, "Hey, we're going to embrace this," and you pushed your estimators, "Hey, look at that, look at this, let's explore this." Kudos to you from kind of just thinking from the top. Yeah, we've got to embrace this. I've got to find ways to kind of push the team, and then you do start bringing in more people, more advisors maybe, or people that can build tools. But if the people at the top don't buy into it and believe it, it's hard to really.
It'll never take off.
Yeah,
it will never take off. And I talk to a lot of large general contractors, and I'm always asking questions. It's like, what are you guys doing? And and it's kind of a canned answer, because these are large companies, and
it's hard to.
I can't imagine how to tie that together.
Right.
I
think there is so much advantage to these smaller businesses that we're involved in, because we can be more nimble and we can actually start to, change the direction of our trajectory with some of these small decisions. So we've got an advantage, and I think AI gives us that advantage now. It gives us an opportunity to kind of compete with the big boys and beat them, really.
Yeah, I think, I think that's why small businesses have embraced AI to the level they have, because it gives us an advantage that they don't have. I've always thought that small businesses, we always have an advantage because we can pivot, because we can do different things. And I compete with a couple of really large global flooring companies, and they're Titanics, and it
You're
does
kind of like, bring it on.
We're ninjas. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Well, so where do people learn more about your company, and if they need some of your resources? Or
Man, www.twhicksinc.com. Go there and you can find anything you want to know about flooring.
Social media? You're on social media?
We are on every platform.
I don't know if that's your thing, but you're on social
got
media.
people that-
I was texting with marketing going, okay, we are on what? And
all the things.
all the things. And it's just been fun to watch it grow.
Well, Tim, this has been an absolute pleasure for us. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being
Absolutely.
a forward-thinking business owner and letting us do this.
Well, thank y'all. Thank y'all for putting this together to get it out there.
Yeah. Well, it's been great. Yeah, seeing how this has really moved the needle for you and kind of getting us thinking and other people thinking. And so, if you're listening, you're like, I'm still not quite sure where to start. You know, there's people around you. And we're available. You know, come to check us out, weeksahead.ai, and we can just sit down and start having a conversation and kind of opening the mind as to what's possible. So
That's all it takes is a conversation.
yeah. Well, appreciate you joining us. And as always, if you want to check us out, like I said, jump on weeksahead.ai and drop us a line. We've got more and more coming out soon on this.
Relay Hub is coming.
It's really coming, so we're excited about that. Till next time, stay weeks ahead.